Hello, my name is Sucket, and we are playing FTB One. And today, we got to start off with some building. I'm gonna have to make a structure with a pretty big footprint here to do what we want to do. I'm thinking about what it might look like. Um, it's gonna have to be two, like, like 19 by 19 squares with something in the middle. I don't know exactly how we're going to pull it off, but we'll think about it. While I'm working on that in the daytime, we're going to be doing a little hunting in the nighttime. And this is exactly, yeah. Exactly one of the guys we're looking for. So there's one like that. There's another one, also a big jerk, and he summons wolves. And there's another one that gets all spiky that we gotta find, I think, in cold places. Hello, zombie. Hey, spider? Gross. Ah, here's one. Oh yeah, this is Wolf Boy. Yeah. Sorry, buddies. Okay, a wild and horn. Now we're looking for spiky, so we can get a wild and spike. I'm out in the nether on an unrelated errand, and I see bee. I found a couple of these bee cages. See if we can. Oh, it's gone, I think. I was really hoping I could catch that boy. That's too bad. Alright, we got a good amount of source gems here. So, what we're gonna want to do, the main thing today here, is get started on spells. And the first thing we're gonna need is the basic spell book. It's not too hard to make, if we can find it here. Yeah, here we go. It's just some basic tools and a book. It's really not a huge deal. Just throw it together here. Find it. There it is. Alright, one novice spell book. So with this, we can cast tier 1 spells. And you see the little mana bar over here in this part of the screen filled up. We got a little bit. Now, okay, so use comic air. We go. There's the C. So we have a couple of these glyphs already. We can make a couple basic spells if we wanted to. But we're going to do something else. We want to make as many of the glyphs as possible. As my understanding is the more glyphs you have, and as you upgrade the book, the bigger spell pool you have. I wonder why it was showing up as blank. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Now, to actually make glyphs, we're going to need a couple of things. And one of that is we're going to need to create and accumulate the source in the world that we've been imbuing the lapis with to make these source gems. We're going to start with a volcanic source link. Now, it's not that hard to make. We're just going to need a little bit of gold, lava bucket, and like so. Wonderful. We're also going to need a couple of source jars. So let's see. Is that it? What do they look like anymore? Oh, look at that. They're quite nice. So we can actually make these out of the arch wood. Or, well, I guess we have to make them out of the arch wood. We don't really have a choice, do we? We'll start with 2 of them. We're probably going to want a few. Now we're also going to want 1 pedestal. So let's go ahead and, okay, for that we'll need arcane stone. That's not too hard to make, I don't think, unless the recipe's changed. It's just, should be just, yeah, okay, very nice. I'll make one pedestal. Alright, we're out here with our not even half finished building. What we're going to do is we're going to put the volcanic source link right down here. We're going to put the pedestal right here. We're going to feed a hopper into it. Barrel on top of the hopper. Now the volcanic source link will burn, anything that's burnable. Let's get the source jar out first. It'll turn that stuff into whatever's burnable into source, and then you can use the source for other things. So if we had archwood log down here nearby, poof, it sucked it up, and now we got a little bit of source right here in the jar. It'll do the same from a nearby pedestal. Is that nearby enough? No, it isn't. They gotta be right next to each other, I guess. Put it down here. Now let's put a piece of archwood. Yeah, okay, there it goes. Now what we want to do is automate this. There we go. And as long as there's somewhere to put some source, it'll take what's off the pedestal here and burn it. If it's just on the ground, I think it's gonna, or at least it would, at least at 1.16, it would burn it regardless of whether or not there was anywhere for it to go. I don't actually know if it still works that way. We might test that when the jars are full at some point. Now, blazing archwood, you get the most source out of per go on the source link, but we have so much coal that we might as well put it to good use. You know, it seems like it burns whatever it is up at about the same rate. Like these coal blocks give you a lot of source, and they burn pretty quickly. We're gonna put it to use. Okay, it looks like the process for making glyphs has changed quite a bit. There's no more glyph press. It's just the scribes table now, or at least I think that's what it is. Let's take a look in the book here. Getting started. New glyphs. Set up resources and base building. Scribes table with experience and items. Okay. Our scribes table. Not that hard. We'll just need a little bit of archwood wood, I guess. Doesn't seem to matter what kind. Take one of those. And we'll make ourselves some slabs. Let's go back. I saw the scribe. Here it is. Okay. Oh, it looks like we didn't actually need wood. We just needed any archwood log type, maybe. All right. Very fancy. So let's take this, let's put it down someplace nearby the source. That doesn't look quite right. Let's see. Where's my axe? I think it might have duped. I think it definitely duped when we did that. Let's see if it dupes again. Yeah, we got an item dupe issue. I love item duping. Now we can find all of our glyphs in these 3 chapters. Right now, we can do tier 1. So projectile, we have. Not a big whoop. Self, we start with that. Touch, we start with it. Underfoot, we don't start with. So it's a pressure plate and iron boots, huh? So let's just get some regular old planks here. We'll make a pressure plate. No more clay, huh? Oh, we have iron boots. Very nice. Back. Now it said you pick it from a menu? Let's look at that again. Use a spell book on the table to open the codex. Okay, here's our spell book. And we could make underfoot. Select it. Throw these down. And we're gonna, oh, that's nice! And then you just right click, and now we have access to the glyph. Whoop, have access to the glyph. In our spell book, we can make a spell out of it. I'm gonna learn a bunch more glyphs. Aha, the next one I wanted to look at is aquatic, which I really like because it basically, oh, it's a little weaker. It used to give you conduit power. Now it just gives you water breathing, but I'll take the water breathing. The quantum armor doesn't do that for us. We do need to figure out how to make this stuff. Okay, so interesting. Maybe what we're supposed to do, take a bucket of water. Alright, we have everything, but I'd be lying if I said I knew how this worked. We put a source gem, pedestals. Okay, maybe we need to get the pedestal set up first. Maybe it's like the enchanting apparatus, and if it doesn't have something valid, it doesn't know what to do. You know what, we're just going to take this out to the little spot. Alright, so we're out here. We'll put a couple pedestals down, right? Let's see. It was kelp, snow block, and a bucket of water. Let's see if it'll let us put this in here now. Pedestals must be placed within the 1 block cube around the chamber. Okay. Alright, I moved all this over here. We still gotta pick up the pedestals. And it used to be in the enchanting apparatus. You didn't have to worry about where exactly the pedestals were as long as they were within a certain distance. Maybe that's different now. Maybe it's just different for this. We shall find out. Things have definitely changed. Okay. Now what happened? Okay, now something's happening. I guess this is how we're going to make water essence. Let's see. Something's going on. Okay, it looks like the particles might be getting bigger, maybe? Give it a second here. There's a source gem in there. Oh, you know what? We're going to get rid of this. It's just confusing the issue. That was set to take source gems out. Let's see if this actually does something now. Okay, I just moved the source jar a little bit because this will draw from 2 blocks away. That's a lot faster. Cool. And just like it said, it did not consume the items on the pedestals. That's interesting. So let's see. The next one was, where is it? A little fishy. There we go. So we'll take our water essence, cod, That's not working. Forgot to select. There we go. All right, I'm getting the hang of it. Awesome. And you'll notice that this setup is still keeping this full, even though we used some to make this. Like if we were to break it, we would see 100%. And that's because these things can fill source jars within 5 blocks, it said. So that's pretty cool. Now for the next one, we're going to need an abjuration essence. And I guess that's milk, sugar, a fermented spider eye, and one of these things. Sure looks like it. It'll bark at you if it's not a valid recipe like we saw. So that's quite friendly and helpful. Very nice. I'm just going to put these in the barrel. And just demonstrate one more. Whoops. That's the wrong thing. Okay, so which one? There's a search, right? Because I can't identify these like consistently. Okay, whoops, we still gotta select. Okay, bounce, select, and we get our abjuration essence, 3 slime. We get our nice little animation. Now we get our glyph. Sweet. Aha, now here's one of my favorites. Nothing like being able to place light at a distance. We'll just, here we go. Yeah, so 1 lantern, 1 torch. You see, they don't all use those essences, and one of them used a point of experience. I couldn't tell you which one, or a level's worth. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a little spell. Now we're going to call it Projectile Light. There we go, Projectile, Conjure Mage Light. Now we can see that spell selected. Let's go somewhere dark. Okay, yeah, we got a cave right here. Check this out. These are permanent. You can break them just with a click. So I guess, given level of permanent. But these make a lot of dangerous overworld exploration where you're dealing with darkness and mob spawns to be a lot easier. As you can just, it's like, oh, darkness, might some mobs spawn down there? I'll light it up before I even get there. How about that? Cool little sound effect. Love it. Love it. Let's do it one more time. Incredible. Now you may have noticed the magma block over here. Over time, this will turn stone, and pretty much just stone, I think, into magma, and then to lava, and then lava lilies will appear on top of the lava. Those are just like regular lily pads, except they're for lava, not for water. Oh, look at that! I didn't even notice that before. And they kind of disappear as you put the required item down. This is really cool. I like the glyph press, don't get me wrong. This is an upgrade. This is fantastic. There was a scribe table before, but you didn't use it this much. You're using this thing. It's just really cool. I'll tell you, I don't think this is actually using source. This used to consume source. I think now some of them consuming experience may have replaced that, so that's interesting. I'm out here looking for an ocean monument because we need some sponges. This doesn't have any chests, but often these do. And keep an eye out for these things on the map. They're from Evilcraft, and I guess they are important in some way. I've never gotten far enough in Evilcraft to really mess with them, but hopefully we'll be able to do that this series. I wonder. Any cages? It's a little laggy out here, just a little laggy. No cages. Just 1.19. We could theoretically find an allay out in one of these. Ah, very good. Let's just put this in our offhand. It'll work just fine. Yeah, get out of the way. It really is laggy out here, isn't it? Now, normally mining fatigue is an issue here, but we're just gonna make it not an issue. Here's one Elder Guardian. This place has a sponge room. I feel pretty silly. Yeah, not so tough. Having a hard time hitting you though. There we go. Alright, there's one sponge. And we got Guardian number 2. Whoops. That guy has a lot of armor. Come on. Way like Josh Hawley. And we got number 3. What's our armor doing? Oh, it's fine. There we go. I'm pretty sure there was a sponge room over there because I have more sponges than I expect that I would have from doing what I just did. So let's investigate. Yep, there we go. Very nice. So we're back home drying out the sponges, and I'm very excited to see this wandering trader. Not just drip leaf, but globes. These are, you can only get them, I mean, you can find them, I think, in shipwrecks, but you can get them from wandering traders. You can't craft them, and each one is unique to the world. It's based on the world seed, and we're gonna put a few around because they're absolutely beautiful. Let's see, do we have any space in here? Globe might look good. Yeah, and you spin them, and they'll tell you what your XY coordinates are, or XZ, I think. Z, if it's like that where you are. I'll put another one in the bedroom. Very nice. Ooh, a little ocean on that side. And see, it doesn't necessarily land on the same side, so they're really just a beautiful block from supplementaries. Now, one of the glyphs, the Rune Glyph, requires runic chalk, which requires mage bloom fiber. And we're going to need some stuff for that. We're going to need to set up the enchanting apparatus multi-block. So let's go ahead and see if any of that has changed. Let's see. Okay, so that's just enchantment. That's cool. Okay, looks like it's the same. Okay, so it's within 3 blocks now. That's a difference. That's a change. But we're going to need this arcane core. We're going to need the enchanting apparatus. And we'll need 8 more pedestals. Core is pretty easy. And let's look up the apparatus itself, because I've already forgotten how it works. Okay, iron and a diamond. Nice. Now, since this is relatively compact now, we're just going to set it up right here, I guess. You put your core down, the apparatus on top of it, and then we'll stick these right. Is that 8? That's 8. Oh no, we got one of them on. Got a pedestal on a pedestal. That'll happen. So what we want are some mage bloom seeds, right? So we might as well do this. I don't remember us having access to all of the, can we do mending? I don't see mending. Oh, that's too bad. But the Mage Bloom seeds, we do this in the enchanting apparatus with just some seeds and some source gems, and at least it used to work on the same logic. There had to be the stuff on the pedestals for this thing to recognize a valid recipe. Yeah. I'll get 4 of those. And we'll let that do its thing. Very nice. Cool. We're gonna make 1 more. And you just planting like any other seed. I promise, if you don't know what I'm doing over here, it will become clear in an episode or 2. So we've gotten about all the ones that we're gonna get for the moment. Rune, snare, and launch. We don't have some of the materials for that. I didn't realize I didn't have any cobwebs. Thought I had cobwebs. Now to get more powerful glyphs, or more than the 3 we didn't do, we've got to upgrade the novice spellbook to a mage's spellbook, as you can cast tier 2 glyphs or lower. It's an obsidian, 3 diamonds, some quartz blaze rods, and it should give us. This used to have counter could tell you how much there was, but I think increasing the tier of the spellbook will increase your mana pool as well. So it's the same general idea. Can we get toss? We could totally get toss. Okay, we got toss. So I think that's going to be it for this time. We're starting to run a little long, but we will be back next time and we'll keep checking out Ars Nouveau for 1.19. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.